Today, I'm gonna talk about something very, very tricky for students, the difference between make and do. I've been teaching English for 35 years, and I never use Portuguese in my lessons, even if the student doesn't speak a word of English. It is possible. We use body language, I use images, I use gestures, I say simple words and show them to the student. Do you know why? It is much better to understand in English. You're gonna struggle less. So that's what I'm gonna do with make and do. This is what I propose to you. Try to understand it in the context of English. So, in fact, make and do is a simple difference. You make things that don't exist before you make them. You kind of create something new. So, for example, you make a mistake. Why? Because the mistake doesn't exist unless you make them, right? So, you make a decision the same way. And you do things that already exist, or you do things that you are performing, like tasks. So, you do your homework. Yes, that's what I always expect from my students. The homework is there. All you have to do is do it. You are not creating something new. Okay? So basically, that's the rule. There is a very, very big exception, which is make the bed. Okay? You make the bed in the morning. You're not creating the bed, but you're making a bed. There is always an exception to the rule, and that's the one. You have to watch out to certain nuances. For example, then you would say to me, so Maggie, if you create something from scratch, you would say make a research. No, you do research. Yes, the research is an activity. You perform a research, you see? In that sense, you are performing, not creating from scratch. In that sense, you do a research, yes, but you can make a presentation if you created the presentation from scratch. Now, if you talk about the activity of presenting, you say do a presentation. So presentation can collocate with both, either one, okay? So basically, that's it. It's simple. So all you have to do is calculate that. So review. Let's think together. Review. What do you think? Do you make or you do? If the review, are you creating anything new? No. Then you do a review. That's it. So shall we test your understanding? So let's try a quick quiz and see how you do. So how did you do in the quiz? Don't worry if you have made some mistakes. This is work in progress. It's the first time you have really tried to understand the difference between one and another. But one thing I can't stress this enough. If you translate into your own language, this is going to mess everything up. So don't understand that in English. You make something, you create from scratch, and you do something that already exists, or when you perform an activity. Okay? There are some idiomatic expressions. For example, do time. Now, do time is something you must have seen in movies, you know, when you spend time in jail. So you don't do time. You don't do time in real life, I hope not. But let's talk about make time. Is it possible to make time? Yeah, it is possible to make time. When your schedule is full, but you say, no, I'll make time for our meeting. You try somehow to find some time. That's so time collocates with either make or do. Bear that in mind, okay? And the best, as you saw in the quiz, do your best, you know? The best is already there, out there. Somebody's doing their best. So you are simply doing something that already exists, except that it's going to be yours instead of somebody else's. So bear that in mind. I think that you might get a little confused sometimes with review, research, analysis. But as I said, those are activities you perform. You perform an analysis, an assessment, a research, a review. So you do. I'm going to give you two words. One of them collocates with make and the other one with do. Please leave in the comments your answers. We are going to get back to you. Let's see if you know. First word, business. Second word, deal. Clear? I hope you liked it. And if you are interested in more content, please subscribe. Leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you. And see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.